Hey everyone, welcome to Agrazia's virtual studio. My name is Amanda. I am a 500-hour certified Pilates instructor, and today we're going to be moving with the magic circle. So there's a lot of these guys on the market. This is 15 inches in diameter, so whatever you find is great. It's a pretty basic Pilates flow, nothing too crazy, nothing super long, but we're going to get started lying down on our backs with the circle around our legs. All right, so our legs are through the circle here, and we want the pads of the circle above the knee, kind of on that squishy part of our thigh. And we're gonna start with some breathing here, so you're welcome to place your hands on your rib cage if you like that feedback, or just rest them down by your sides. And we're gonna take a deep breath into the sides of our ribs. And then exhale, feel those ribs wrapping and drawing in towards your midline. And again, big breath into the sides. Let that spine get heavy on your exhale. And then we're going to start to add a little bit more connection into the circle. So on your inhale, press your legs out into the pads. And then exhale, slowly return. And instead of just pressing the knees out, I want you to think about separating the thigh bones equally all the way at the tops of the hips. Exhale, draw it back to midline. A few more rounds like that. Inhale, separate. And exhale, draw it back to center. 2 more, big breath in. And out. And your last one, deep breath in. You press, and then exhale, slowly release. Great. Now take your hands by your side, starting to warm up our curl today. Nod your chin, slowly roll up one bone at a time, sliding your fingertips towards your feet. Try not to let your pelvis move, and then slowly roll back down. So you can just maintain a neutral position of your pelvis. That looks different on everyone. On your next exhale, roll back up, peeling one bone at a time. You slide your fingers forward, and then slowly roll back down. We have a gentle press of that circle to keep the outer hips activated. Curling up and coming all the way back down. Now you're gonna straighten your right leg, keeping your knees in line with each other. So you're just extending out so your foot comes off the ground. And then keeping that left leg in place, the right leg, the straight leg, is gonna open out into that circle. And then you're gonna bring it back in. We press on your inhale. We exhale, pull it back in. We have 3 more. Inhale, press. Exhale, return. Last 2. And in. Last one, press. And pull it back in, place your foot back down. Other side, stretch that left leg. And inhale, press that leg out. Glue that right leg in place. And press. And pull it in. Make sure that both sides of your pelvis are equally weighted on the ground, so you're not tilting over towards either side. Last one, you press and return. Place that foot back down. Now we're gonna add on. If you need support for your neck, feel free to put your hands behind the head. Otherwise, on your exhale, you're gonna slide your fingertips towards your feet, peel off and find your curl. You're gonna extend that right leg out, and we're gonna press for 3. Pull it in. Last 2. Pull it in. Last 1. We're gonna stay up here as we switch the legs. Stretch that leg. Maybe you scoop and curl up a little bit higher. Press and in for 2. Pull it in. Last 1. Return. Place that foot down. Slowly roll down with control. All right, taking it up a notch. Deep breath in. On your exhale, keeping that spine and ribs heavy, you're gonna float the legs to tabletop. Okay, make sure we have 90-degree bend at the knees and at the hips. Now, keeping the knees gently pressing out into that circle, we're gonna separate the feet as much as we can. It's gonna take us into this internal rotation at the hips. And then keeping that press on the circle as you pull the heels together, Pilates V. And again, open out internal rotation and close it back in. Now, if you feel like you're straining quite a bit in your back to maintain this position, you can place your hands underneath your tailbone here for a little extra support, and it may be easier to find that connection in your rib cage. We're going to take 2 more. Open and close. Last time. Open and close it in. Pull your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little break before we go into our 100, starting to pick things up, getting our heart rate up. All right, coming back into that 90-90 tabletop position. On your exhale, you slowly curl up, slide your fingertips past your toes. You can either leave your legs here or extend them out, float the arms up, and we go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and out. Gentle press on that circle, out to the sides and out. We're halfway there. Inhale. Try to stay off those shoulder blades. Exhale. And in. And out. 3 more. In. And out. Last 2. And out. Final 1. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull those knees in. And roll all the way down. Hug your knees to your chest. Take some circles. Massaging your low back into the ground. And then we're going to take our legs out of the circle. Extend them long, holding the circle up to the ceiling with your palms on the pads and your fingertips stretched out. Lots of energy. Flex those feet, nod your chin. Try to reach the top of the head through that circle as you roll all the way up, 1 bone at a time, reaching forward, and then stack the spine. I'm going to put the circle on the feet now. So my outer edges of the feet are pressing into that circle. We want to try to stay nice and parallel with the legs and ankles. And then we're going to hold on to that activation as we tip the pelvis under, rolling backwards 1 bone at a time. Reach those arms forward, up, and then all the way overhead. Deep breath in. And then on your exhale, roll up, pressing out into that circle as you roll all the way forward. A few more here, rolling back. Keep reaching forward as you roll back. It'll help balance you out. Arms overhead, inhale. And then exhale, roll up, dive forward. Try not to collapse at the hips. Stay really scooped in that low belly. We want to remain active the whole time here. Truly nothing about Pilates is passive, unless we're just taking a quick recovery stretch. And that's definitely not this exercise. We're going to take 1 more. Exhale, roll it up, dive forward, and then we'll stay up here, stack the spine nice and tall, and then we're going to take the feet out. So our setup for our leg circles today, you're going to stand the magic circle right in between your legs. You're going to place your right leg on the bottom pad to stabilize, and then your left leg is going to go on top. So you're kind of crossed here. And you want the circle to be a little bit higher than the ankle, and you'll see why in a second. You're going to roll down And then we want that circle to stay aligned with our leg on top. So that bottom leg is gonna come out of the circle, pull your knee into your chest, give yourself a little hug, and reach that left leg out really long here. Now straighten that right leg up. Let your hands come down by your sides. We're gonna try to keep that standing leg as stable as possible. Right leg is gonna cross. It's gonna go down, around, and up. So the circle is gonna give us a lot of feedback here. Cross, around, and up. We have 2 more. Cross, around, and up. Last one. Cross, around, and pause at the top. We're gonna reverse the circle. Out, around, cross, and up. Open the leg, cross, around, and up. You have 3 more. Nice long legs. 2, and around. Last one, and up. Now, if that circle was really shaky, then we know we got to work on that supporting side a little bit more. You're going to pull that right knee into your chest, stretch that leg back out, find the pad, reach the arms up to the ceiling, and you're going to slowly roll up from there, and we're going to switch legs. So now left leg is going to go under, right leg is going to be on top. I'm going to have it a little higher this time. And then you're gonna roll back and then bring your arms down. Take your adjustments as needed. Pull your left knee into your chest, give it a little hug, and reach that right leg really long. Now, if having the leg on top of the circle is not happening today, you can always put the leg on the bottom, or you could take the circle off, hold it in your hands, and do it that way. So you're gonna stretch that left leg out, arms down by your sides. Let's take that leg across our body. It goes down, out, and up. Cross, around, and up. 3 more. Cross, around, and up. 2, around, and up. Last one. Gentle press down into that circle to connect the back of the leg. We reverse. Open, around, and up. Open, around, and up. We have 3 more. Around and up. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross and up. Last one. Good. Bend that knee. Stretch it out underneath. Reach your arms up. Take another roll up. Grab your circle and take the feet out. Very good. Okay, so coming into a series of 5, our favorite. You're gonna place the inside pad at the back of your skull. Your hands are gonna go right on the inside of the other pad. You're gonna round your spine and then slowly roll down, gently pressing your head into the circle. Okay, so hands can either be here in front of your head on the circle, or you can grab the sides if that feels more comfortable. Bottom line, we want the back of the neck to be really relaxed. Let the head be heavy in the circle so that we're not holding any tension in the neck. It's gonna force us into a better connection in our obliques here, okay? So take a deep breath in. On your exhale, soften the rib cage, curl up, letting the head stay heavy. Now you're gonna pull your right knee into your chest, reach for that circle, and then pull the left knee up and hold. Now we're gonna switch. Switch and switch. Try to touch the circle with your knee for 4, 3, 2. We're gonna stay up here, both knees into your chest. You can find a slight separation in the knees. You stretch those legs out on your inhale. Exhale, pull it back in, reach your forehead between your knees. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull it in. We have 3 more. Inhale, reach and pull it in. And 2, and pull it in. Last one. We're gonna keep going. And in, stretch both legs up to the ceiling. Lower your left leg down. Scissors with the legs. We switch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Both legs up. Aren't we just loving that support for our neck today? We're gonna lower both legs down on the inhale, any amount. Exhale, lift. We have 4 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last 3. Stable pelvis, 2. Last 1. Last thing, we're gonna twist. Pull your right knee into your chest, twist to the right, try to reach that circle past the knee, and then slowly switch to the other side. Try to stay off your shoulder blades the entire time. Twist and twist. Focus on height. Last time, right and left. Pull both knees into your chest. Lower down, slow. Hug your knees into your chest. Take those passive circles here. Rolling out the low back. Finding freedom in the hip joints. And then stretch your legs out. You're going to take that circle up above the chest again. Stretch those arms to the ceiling. Flex the feet. And then nod your chin and roll all the way up. Dive forward. Stack the spine. Separate the legs a little bit wider than your mat, and then take your circle in front of you. It's standing in between your legs, and then your hands are stacked on top of that pad. Now, this is a pretty subtle movement, but a super deep core connection if we're doing it correctly. So on your exhale, think about gliding the shoulder blades down your rib cage, and then gently pressing down on that circle, not with your arms, but with your back connection we just found. Inhale, release, and then exhale, press it down more from the back, or even like the sides of the body, right in the serratus there. Inhale, release, and again, exhale, press. So we want lots of energy out through the heels, but if you're feeling a lot of tension in the hips, you can soften the knees here. Press and release. Last time, you press and release. Now we're going to add a little flexion of the spine. So on your exhale, you're going to take a little posterior tilt, and you're going to contract those abs to now press down into that circle. And then stack the spine. Again, it's not coming from the arms rather than coming more from your abs. Exhale, you round the spine, and the circle reacts to the curve in your spine. And then stack the spine back up. We have 2 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, come up. Last time, scoop and round. Shoulders still connected to the back, and then come right back up. Okay, great. We're gonna turn over onto our belly. I'm guessing my hair is a bit of a disaster here now that we've laid down a bit, but I'm sure I'm not alone there. So we're laying on our stomach, and then your circle is again standing on the mat in front of you. And we're gonna take our arms up on top of the circle, nice and long, and let your head drop down onto the mat. All right, so really reach those legs out behind you, and you should be reaching them so long that you start to feel the backs of your legs activate. And then you're gonna press down into that circle, lifting the head, lifting the chin, chest, and you keep pressing down to come up into as much extension as possible. And then think about scooping the belly away from the mat on your way down. Forehead comes all the way up. You can totally do this without the circle if you don't have the range in your shoulders right now. Press down and lift the chest, and scoop the belly and down. Always working with our body rather than forcing it into things it doesn't want to do. Press into the circle, lift the chest. Coming up nice and high. Open up those collarbones, reach those legs behind you as much as you can. diving forward, scoop that belly. We're gonna take 2 more. Inhale, press to come up. If it's supportive for your back, your legs can lift a little, no worries. Think about reaching your chest forward and your legs back at the same time. So finding that 2-way stretch. And then scoop the belly to come all the way down. Okay, last one. Scoop to come up. Big inhale. Open up that chest. And then exhale, scoop to dive forward. Great. All right, coming up onto our elbows, but we're gonna stay on our belly. So we're holding on to that circle in our palms again, collarbones open, and then scoop that belly away from the mat to support your spine. Legs are gonna be as close together as your low back will allow, and you're gonna kick your right heel into your seat twice. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and stretch, switch it, 1, 2. So it's like little contractions with the hamstring. Let's go kick, kick, switch, kick, kick, switch, kick, kick. Pressing those elbows into the mat to find a little more lift and support in the shoulders. One more time, right, right, switch, left, left, and lower. All right, coming all the way down. We're gonna skip double leg kick today for the sake of time. Push yourself back onto your heels for a little counter stretch here. Let that spine round, tailbone heavy on the heels. Take a really big breath into your back. Exhale, let it out. And then slowly walk yourself all the way up. And we're gonna come to kneeling. So find that circle again. And we're gonna do a version of chest expansion with the circle behind our back. So you're gonna hold on to it, again, both pads in your hands, and then circle is resting right in front of your seat. Now, we're just gonna lift the arms up to whatever range we have today. That's your inhale. And then exhale, you're gonna pull it back down. And we're gonna do that again. Lift up on the inhale. Exhale, bring it down. We're gonna add on. Lift the arms up on your inhale. Hold your breath. You're gonna look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Bring the arms down. And again, lift the circle. Inhale. Look right. Look left. Come back to center. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale. Hold your breath. Look further. Look further left. Come back to center. Bring the arms down. We're gonna finish with a little tricep blast. Take those arms up to any height, and you're gonna do 10 pulses with the arms in that circle. 10, 9, 8. Even if you're just thinking about squeezing that circle, this one's really hard. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring the arms down. Let your arms come forward. Okay, so circle is in front of us now. You could do this 2 different ways. You can have toes pointed, or I personally prefer to tuck my toes. This feels a little bit more supportive, and also I find it prevents some cramping in the feet. So you're gonna take your arms out in front of you, pick whatever foot position works for you today. Stretch your fingertips long, palms on the pad. We're gonna hinge backwards any amount for our thigh stretch, and then you're gonna press into those legs to come right back up. So as you go back, keep reaching that circle forward. We're always looking for that 2-way stretch. Inhale, go back. Reaching that chest through the circle, coming up. And one more here, hinging back any amount. Coming back up. And now we're gonna hinge back and hold. So you're gonna reach back, find that Agrazia logo here. Now arms are gonna go up overhead. Exhale, reach it down. We have 2 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, reach it down. Last one, reach up. Reach it down, come all the way up and rest. You can sit back onto your heels with those toes tucked under to get a little passive stretch for the foot. All right, you guys are doing great. We got 1 more exercise here. You're gonna flip around, take a seat, Legs are out in front of you. And then we're going to take that circle. One of the pads on the inside is going to go right at the balls of the feet. And we're going to hold on to either the ring or the pad with our two hands. Now, we're going to push into that circle slightly, start to roll backwards. You can bend the knees slightly until you can find your balance and extend your legs long. So sometimes this connection can really help us for those struggling to find our teaser. You've got that reach into the circle. You're rounded in the low back slightly. Chest is open, collarbones wide. We're just holding for one more breath. And then we're going to bend the knees and come right back up. All right. We're going to progress this. So slowly starting to roll backwards. As soon as you can, you're going to stretch those legs out. Now leave the legs right where they are. Keep that energy reaching out and then just float the circle up. We're going to adjust the circle so that we're holding on to both pads. Arms are parallel to the legs. We have that soft flexion in the spine. Holding for 2, 1. Lower the legs down with control. Stack the spine, come all the way up. Exhale, we're going to roll back into that shape. See if you can find that shape without the circle. Holding here, you're reaching out from those arms. Now, just the legs are going to lower and lift any amount. 2, without arching that back. So stabilize that flexion in the spine and then lower the legs down. Stack the spine all the way up. All right, grand finale here. So on your exhale, you scoop the belly. Start to roll back. Keep reaching those arms out in front of you. Float the legs as soon as you can. Keep the legs right where they are. We're going to roll down to the shoulder blades. Take that inhale. Exhale, reach it back up. Don't let that circle touch your legs. Lower down. Exhale, lift up. One more time, articulate through that spine. Roll back. Exhale, come up. Find your balance, finish strong. Lower those legs down slow. Come all the way up and rest. Okay, we're gonna finish with a well-deserved stretch to cool down today. So you'll just make your way down onto the ground however you see fit. That circle is with you. We're gonna take that right knee to chest. You're gonna put one of the pads on the ball of the foot and then straighten that leg up. So you can find a little resistance by pulling down on that circle slightly. We'll keep a flex in the ankle and you're gonna pull that knee to chest. You can let it open out towards your armpit a little bit and then press that heel to the sky. And inhale, bend. Exhale, press. That standing leg on the ground is doing whatever it needs to support your body. You can also bend the knee here, that bottom leg, I mean. So if you were feeling strain in the low back or the hips, this could be a great modification. Last time, you're going to stretch that leg all the way out, and we're just going to flex and point the foot. So you're going to press your toes into the circle, pull the toes back to the shin, point and flex. Last time, point and flex. Let's keep the flex. So if our right leg is in the circle, our left hand is going to grab onto the pad. Your right arm will go down by your side, or if you have something to grab onto, you're going to anchor your right side and then take that leg out and over that midline. So we're stretching the outer hip here, and maybe you'll feel the back of the leg as well. Press that circle or press that leg into the circle to come back to center. We're going to take 2 more like that. Inhale, going over. And exhale, coming up. So typically keeping our stretches a little bit more active and moving tends to be a little bit more effective than just holding a passive position. Our body prefers movement. So now we're going to switch sides. Your right hand is now going to go into the circle. Your left hand is going to come down to anchor you, and then open that leg out to the side any amount, anchoring that left side down, and then coming back to center. 2 more times like that. Open, inhale. Exhale, center. 1 more time. Open, inhale. And back to center. Okay, you're gonna turn out that leg. The outer edge of your foot is gonna come onto that pad, and you're gonna pull the foot towards your chest, getting into like a figure 4 position. So we're just now stretching a little bit deeper in that right hip. And you can move that leg across your chest and then back out. Again, keeping this movement theme here. And then to get out of it, let's take that leg out to the side, all the way to the right. You'll take the circle off the foot and then just circle that leg all the way down to the floor. And then take a moment here and just close your eyes to connect a little more internally, and let those legs just be heavy in the mat, noticing what differences you feel between the two. Maybe you feel a little bit more blood flow, a little more lightness or heaviness. No wrong answers here. All right, you're gonna pull that left knee into your chest. We're gonna place the pad on our left foot, right on the ball there, and then press that leg up to the ceiling. So keeping that flex, we're gonna bend the knee and press back up. A few more, bend and press. We take 2 and press. Last one, bend. Little resistance here, press, and then point and flex. Trying again to keep those hips equally weighted on the mat. So if you feel like your pelvis twisted a bunch, see if you can adjust back to your neutral. Last 2 and point. Last 1 and point, and then flex the foot. Right hand is on the pad, left hand comes down to the floor to anchor you. You push out into the circle to go over that midline. This can be your inhale. And then exhale, press into the circle to come back. Inhale, up and over. And exhale, press to come back. We've got 1 more. Just slowing down here, coming back to center. We're gonna change hands, right hand to the mat. Open that leg out any amount. Inhale here, and then exhale back to center. Inhale, open. Reaching out through that supporting leg. Coming back. And 1 more time. And back to center. Good. Now turn out that leg. Get the outer edge of the foot on the circle, pull the circle towards you, and then just wave that leg side to side in this position. Just take whatever movement feels good for you. Your body will tell you what it needs. So just listen. And if there is a position that you're really liking, then you can always pause and take some deep breaths into those areas that need a little bit more release. Let's take 1 more cross. And back to center. That leg is going to go out to the side. You take the circle off the foot, circle the leg around, stretch it out onto the floor. And then again, just let the circle rest on your chest here, arms down by your sides, wherever they land, and let those legs just be heavy in the mat. Take a couple breaths, sinking into the surface beneath you. Taking 2 more breaths here. Observing how your legs and even the rest of your body feels different from when we first started. Exhale all that air out. All right, when you're ready, make your way back up to sitting. I hope that flow was nice and activating for you. If you have any questions, please reach out, and happy moving.